Hey, this is the video for solving equations with the variable on each side. Alright, so I have a couple of equations up here, or you'll see later. Alright, so what we're going to do first is this is 5 parentheses m plus 3, close parentheses, plus 9 equals 3 parentheses m minus 2, close parentheses, plus 6. Alright, so the very first thing that we have to do is to get rid of the parentheses, and we're going to do that by distributive property. So that's 5 times m is 5m, and then 5 times 3 is 15. But you cannot do the 5 times the 9 because the 9 is not inside the parentheses. So we're just going to bring down the 9, and then we're going to do 3 times m and 3 times 2, but that's subtract 2. So we're going to go 3 times m is 3m, and then 3 times 2 is 6, and then plus 6. And again, you cannot distribute the 3 to the 6 because the 6 is not inside the parentheses. Alright, so now, a lot of people like to draw their little line down to separate their equation. Alright, so we have a couple of things that we need to clean up before we start moving things around. Alright, so we're going to combine like terms. So I have a 5m, and then 15 plus 9 is 24. And then 3m, well, what happens with negative 6 and plus 6? Those are opposites, so they go away. Negative 6 plus 6 are opposites, so they cancel out. Alright, so now you have to think about the equation as the balancing scale. We watched a video with the little guy that dropped a cookie, and the cookie made the scale tip or lean towards one side. So you have to think about an equation as a scale. So what side of our equation has the most stuff? So what side has the most terms? So it would be our left side. So we have to pick something to move to the right side to try to balance it out. So I have to choose the 5m because of the 3m, and those are like terms. So since this is a positive 5m, I'm going to subtract 5m, inverse operation, opposite. So if it's a positive 5, minus 5 goes away. The 24 equals 3 minus 5m is negative 2m, and then you'll divide by negative 2, so m equals negative 12, and that is our answer, negative 12. So the second problem we're going to work also has a parentheses that we have to get rid of. So I'm going to do the distributive property and distribute the 4. When I distribute the 4, it's got to multiply with the terms inside the parentheses. So 4 times 4 is 16, and then 4 times 4k is 16k. The right side of the equation doesn't have a parenthesis, so we're just going to write it down. Alright, now I have the same amount. I have a variable on both sides, and I have a constant on both sides. So I've got to, just kind of a personal preference, I like my variables to be moved over here to the left side. I want my variables up front, and then I want my constants. Constants are your plain numbers. I want them on the right side over here. I want them on the end. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this variable and move it to the left side. So if it's a minus 16K, inverse operation plus 16K, well, what happens? My minus 16K plus 16K cancels. Well, my minus 16K plus 16K cancels also. And I'm left with 16 equals negative 10. Well, if I have $16 in my pocket, or if I owe somebody $10, negative 10 means you owe somebody $10, that's not the same amount. So since those are not equal, these are not equal, that means the answer is no solution. What in the world does that mean? That means that no matter what number, okay? Number one, we had one answer, negative 12. Only negative 12 makes this equation balance. This one, there's not one. You can pick whatever you want to. Negative 35, positive 135, whatever it is. No matter what you pick, decimals, fractions, positives, negatives, infinity, no matter what, it's not going to work out. So you do not have an answer. There's no solution. So that's it, no solution. You may see a symbol for that, and it is a circle with a line through it. Just a quick little symbol. All right. Number 3. So once again, I have parentheses here that I've got to get rid of and distribute. Distribute the 3, so 3 times A, 3 times 1. 3 times A is 3A. 3 times the positive 1 is positive 3. Now remember, I can't take that 3 and multiply by 5 because 5's not in the parentheses. So I'm just going to bring it on down. And then this side doesn't have a parenthesis, so I just bring it down. Okay, now I see that I have some like terms that I can combine. So a positive 3 minus 5 is negative 2, which means subtract 2. Same concept. It's got variables on both sides, and it has constants on both sides. So I've got to move my variable to the left side. What if you're like, Miss Beck, I want to move my variable to the right side? Well, go for it, sweetie. That's fine. It doesn't matter what side you move it to, as long as you're consistent. Okay, so if I move my variable to the left side, it's a positive 3A, so I'm going to go subtract 3A. And then somebody's going to say, Miss Beck, wait. There's a subtract in the problem. Why are you subtracting? Well, it's not because it's a subtract sign in the problem. It's because I've got to take the opposite of 3A, which is negative 3A. And when you say Raymond, I say ramen, that's a minus sign also. Negative is also subtract. So I'm going to subtract 3A over here. So my 3A minus 3A, oh no, it happens again. 3A minus 3A goes away. So I'm left with negative 2 equals negative 2. So if I owe you $2 and Susie owes Robert $2, we both owe the same amount. So that is equal. And so since they are equal, that is a true statement. The answer is all solutions. All solutions. What all solutions means is no matter what number, it's going to work out. It's going to make the equation balance. That's the key here. You want to make the equation balance. So on number 1, the only number that would make this equation balance is -12. That's it. Only -12. Number 2, whatever your wildest number is will never work to make this equation balance. No matter what. Can't work. Number 3, every number known to man is going to make this equation balance. Thank you.